Hi, I want to talk about the best way for beginners to make money in the stock market. And this video is primarily going to focus on the things that you should avoid and the common pitfalls that people make. The first thing that they do, and by far the biggest detriment to making long-term gains or any type of profits, is trying to hit home runs. So from my experience, and I have about 15 years experience and I've done very well, but it didn't start out that way. I lost a lot of money in the beginning, and from my experience, the biggest mistake that people make is they try to hit home runs, and this usually comes to fruition by people investing in things like penny stocks or day trading with promises or visions that they're going to gain 500% a year. This is just unrealistic, and oftentimes the people who try to make those returns, they take on a substantial amount of risk and they end up losing all their money. So I know that there are people online who claim that they make 500 to 1,000% a year. I personally don't believe any of these claims, but even if there is an outlier who can make 500% returns on 1 year or 2 years in a row, because obviously if you make 5 times your money every year, after 10 years you're going to have, I believe, $100 billion if you start out with just $10,000. So consistently making 500% is just simply unrealistic. It's not possible. But you really want to avoid trying to hit home runs. And so you don't want to invest in penny stocks. You don't want to buy 10,000 shares of a stock that's trading at 5 cents and then hope that it goes up to 10 cents. The best way to make money in the stock market is by hitting singles. And from my personal experience, the best way to make money is to actually never take ownership of stock and to simply sell options. The second mistake that I see people making is they don't keep things simple, and they get overwhelmed and they make things way too complicated. In reality, last year I was up 57%. This year I'm up about 36% on a year-to-date basis. I've done extremely well in the market. I've also done extremely poorly. In 2015, I was trading too large. In August, I think it was August 9th, I think it was August 21st, 22nd, and then the 24th. There was a Thursday and Friday when the market went down, and then on Monday the market crashed, and then it rebounded a little bit at the end of the day. But in those 3 days, I actually lost $1 million in the account just in 3 days. So you got to take the good with the bad, and that really stung. But even for someone like myself who has a lot of experience, I keep things as simple as possible, and I really only look at a few things. When I sell options, I only focus on market leaders, and I sell puts on them when those market leaders are trading at a discount. So Facebook right now is at about $165 a share. So if Facebook falls down to about 158, 159, then I will sell a put option with about 3 to 4 weeks to expiration at a strike price of about 147. So as a result, I will have a tremendous moat and a tremendous margin of error and a safety net, because Facebook is likely not going to drop down below 147. And you know what? Even in the worst case scenario, if it does drop down to 147, I have no problem owning it at 147, and it's a substantial discount from where it's currently trading at 166. So that's one of the reasons why I love selling options. So to summarize, the first thing is try not to hit home runs. You want to hit singles. That's the best way to consistently make money in the stock market. The second way to consistently make money in the market is to keep things simple. Don't complicate things. Don't go and read everything possible on this company and confuse yourself. Try to come up with a strategy that you can explain to a 4 or 5-year-old. And obviously, that 4 or 5-year-old is going to have to learn some of the terminology, but as long as the concept and your strategy is very simple, then you should do relatively well. The third thing that I wanted to discuss, and which I typically see, and this kind of goes hand in hand with the first one about trying to hit home runs, is you really want to avoid, you really want to avoid gurus. There are people online who, what they do is they'll use a fake account, and then they'll take a screenshot and say that they're up like 500%, and then they're going to solicit your money. You really want to learn yourself. You want to learn the skill so that you can manage your own money. And I definitely believe that managing and learning how to trade stock options is probably the most important thing that you can do, because while you're definitely never going to make 500%, if you can make between 30 and 60% a year consistently, then at the end of a few years, depending upon how much money you start out with, you can potentially and likely live off of your earnings just simply by trading. And additionally, by keeping it very simple, and like using myself as an example, I only spend like 20 minutes a day on the stock market. That's it. So I make every single trade from my cell phone. I don't have to sit in front of a computer, look at charts, look at resistance lines or support levels, resistance, Bollinger Bands, like all those things. Forget that stuff. By trading stock options, I can make every trade on my phone, and I keep it as simple as possible. So that's pretty much it. The last thing is I would definitely avoid fees, and try to avoid paying a substantial amount of commissions. So that's why a lot of people are using Robinhood. I've actually never used it, so I can't give you an opinion on whether I think it's good or bad. I know that Robinhood does not, that they don't permit option selling, or you can't buy and sell options on Robinhood. So that's one of the reasons why I don't use it. But I would, for people who are initially getting involved in learning how to trade the stock market, you can sign up for a paper trading account, which is a practice account, or you can sign up for Robinhood and trade for free. I can definitely teach you as well. I can teach you how to trade stock options, and in that regard, what I would like to do and what I recommend to everyone is to open up a practice trading account so that you can practice trading options and placing the trades yourself, and you can get comfortable. And for everyone who's listening, I will include in the summary a free introductory call with one of my students, and that way you can learn a little bit about how to trade options. So to summarize, you really want to avoid trying to hit home runs. You also want to avoid gurus and people who are going to promise you that they're going to make you like 500% a year. You want to keep it as simple as possible, and you don't want to trade penny stocks or forex or use too much leverage. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, then please let me know. Thanks.